Welcome to this short introduction to the life of Paracelsus, the most famous of the alchemical and hermetic philosophers, the most important initiate from the school of ancient knowledge from the 5th to the 15th century, when Europe was in one of its most dark ages. He called himself Paracelsus and he developed himself as a great master of the philosophers of fire. He was an alchemist, he was a healer, he was a magician, but most of all, he was a walker of the path of the mysteries. This series of videos has a correlation in our Spanish main channel, where we are developing a series of small videos that introduce his life, how he became the great master of alchemy through the first initiations and travels to the ancient school of mysteries around the Mediterranean Sea, how he taught and the basis of his science, and also that gives a first introduction to the basic principles of alchemy. So I invite you to visit our Spanish channel to get deeper information on this master and genius, as the videos will be subtitled in English. In any case, we'll take the opportunity today to give a droplet insight of Paracelsus' life and first years of life that molded him and shaped him to later tread the path of initiation. So Paracelsus was born in a special moment in the history of the human race in the year 1493. We have to see that the world is changing. We have the Catholic kings in Spain and a movement of unity in the level of the world consciousness, with the discovery to the new world, to the ancient Europe. And we have also on the other extreme, in the fusion between East and West, in the side of the ancient Byzantine part of the Roman Empire, the fall of Constantinople, that then by the Ottoman Empire becomes Istanbul. So this is, between the East and the West, this is the geographical and historical moment that allows this energy to get shape on Earth. And he chose a very special place surrounded with mountains in what we know today as Switzerland. A very small, tiny town called Egg, and it's very close to the very ancient site of veneration of the World Mother, in what we call today Einsiedeln. And in this place, the presence of the World Mother is so strong that the elementals of nature express in a very tangible way, and contact and teachings through nature are easily received by the human mind. So this is the place, the setting, and the historical moment where Paracelsus decided to come to live his human experience. He was the only child of a couple dedicated to working healing. His father was a physician in a hospital, and his mother was a superintendent of the hospital, the main nurse that took care of all the logistics of the hospital. So he was living his first year of life in this hospital, immersed in all the healing techniques of his age, very primitive, sometimes cruel, very violent. And he was getting two different experiences in parallel. On the one side, he was learning chemistry with the colleagues of his father in the laboratory, but on the other side, he was walking since the early age in nature and experiencing and feeling the presence and the teachings of the Mother of the World through the presence of the elementals. And since early ages, he learned how to hear them and how to get the knowledge he needed and the insight to understand the healing properties of nature given through the plants, the minerals, the stones. When he is in his early 20s, he decides that he has trained enough as a doctor. He has never followed a formal education as a doctor, but he learned everything from being there with his parents and his colleagues and friends in the hospital. And then he decided that that was enough for him, that he didn't want to pursue a formal academic medical teaching, but that he wanted to seek the truth inside. And it's then where he starts a series of travels that will take him through all the sites of pockets where the ancient knowledge was still preserved, concealed, and nourished, like a little flame in the middle of the darkest era, going from the Middle Ages to the Renaissance time. So he started traveling around these sites of ancient knowledge, and he started to learn more and more about ancient healing, magic, and alchemy. And within his travel, he met one of his most important teachers that called himself Solomon Trimosin, and he met him in one of his séjours, one of the times he spent in the ancient city of Constantinople, now called Istanbul. This is a transition where the Byzantine Roman Empire falls, and in this city of Constantinople were still guarded many of the ancient secrets coming from Greece and previously from Egypt and the stars. And when the Ottoman Empire takes Constantinople and turns it into the capital of the empire, there is a great exodus of minds and of teachers that were holding within themselves this ancient knowledge. And Paracelsus arrives to this place when he is around 25 years old, and he is able to access part of the remnants of this ancient knowledge. And with his teacher, with Solomon, he learns how to contact the elemental world, how to transform himself through the process of transmutation, how to produce alchemy within his own bodily constitution, to then magnetize and transform the others through healing, but also the stones, the lower vibrational elements, into the higher vibrational elements like diamonds and gold. And through these trips that are sometimes called his alchemical wanderings, he learns to observe and study himself. He learns to go inside and ask the transcendental question, who am I? And from within, without, he starts to express the magic of alchemy. And in this way, by magnetizing himself and transforming his earthly elements into high vibrational components, he develops the possibility to magnetize what is around him. And as such, experiencing with magnetism, beginning or transforming himself into the magnet, he's able to transform, magnetize the substance he's working with, and he's able also to transform and magnetize the patients that come healing, seeking healing. He's able to transform also the patients that come to him seeking to heal. So this is the great secret of the alchemists, the transformation of the earthly elements through the presence of the light of the soul into the human supernatural that is able to work not only horizontally but vertically and bring energies of transformation from higher places. So this is the work of all the great masters. This is what the presence of Paracelsus shared with us, and this is his legacy. And this is what we have been invited to open again to the world in a new, transformed way that is adequate for this new era of humanity. We had this great opportunity to experience his fiery energy in his birthplace in Egg, and we had also the great gift and present of receiving this information to share through magnetic impregnation and through his presence, which is silent and very subtle, and we try to shape it in a way that allows you, wherever you are, to also experience the magnetism and presence of this huge master. So I hope that through this video you receive also the healing energies of the philosophers of the fire, and that they kindle your inner light of transformation to tread the path that is taking us to be masters of ourselves.